Everyone preaches buy rentals, get passive income. The only thing that's passive about rentals is how they lie about them online. And here's the truth that no one wants to admit. Most people are not even ready to buy rentals. And the people that are ready to buy the rentals, they don't even rely on the cash flow. But let me break it down. When I was 19 years old, I was obsessed with bigger pockets. I listened to every podcast, I took notes, rewrote the notes, highlighted the notes. I was taught that buying rentals is the way to get out of the 9-to-5 forever. The message was simple. Buy rentals, get cash flow, and retire early. I was convinced that buying rentals was the magic key to finally quitting the 9-to-5 and then retiring early. And that dream sounds amazing, but this is what I wish someone would have told me. Real estate is not gonna solve all your problems. If anything, it's gonna give you bigger, more expensive ones. If you think you could just buy a handful of rentals and quit your job, you're already headed in the wrong direction. God damn, that's a big ass list. Living off your rentals, especially in the beginning, is a dream. I know people with one property and they use it to supplement the income. I know people that have 20 to 40 units and then they don't even care about the cash flow. They use the real estate for the tax incentives. I know people with 100 units and they're doing decent, but in reality, they're barely getting by. And then I know people that have 200 to 400 units that actually live off the income, but they run these giant property management companies. So there's nothing passive about it. So people ask, how do you get to the 200 to 400 unit mark if you don't start and buy one? But I feel like that's the wrong question. The real question is, are you in a place financially where you should start buying these properties? I think if you don't have airplane, break time. If you don't have at least 100K, depending on your market, a high income from your job, or a successful business, you're putting yourself in a dangerous spot. Rentals are not meant to save you. They're meant to multiply what you already have. But to be fair to bigger pockets, one thing that they push that I do agree with is house hack. It's the best way for anyone to start while actually bringing down your monthly expenses. But that's a very big difference between I'm gonna buy 10 units and never work again. And house hacking just means you live in one unit, you rent the other ones out, you lower your expense. Plus, you build equity, and that's one thing they push heavily, which I agree with 100%. And most people run their numbers completely wrong. Let's say the rent is $2,000, the mortgage is $1,500. So in theory, they think they have $500 in cash flow, but they're not putting into consideration vacancies, CapEx, insurance, taxes, repairs, and then the random chaos tax. Like, something is always gonna happen. At this point, you have to expect it. Once you factor all these things in, your rental is maybe making $100 to $150 per month in true cash flow. Now, if you make $250,000, you don't even care about that $100, $150 in cash flow. You care more about the tax benefit. But if you're like me and most people, and you wanna live off the cash flow, that's not gonna cut it. Most people have this magical number in their head of $10,000 per month. So let's say the property's really bringing in $100 to $150, but let's say 150. You'll need 66 units to get to $10,000 per month. Now, can you do it faster with better rentals, buying better deals, off market, value add? Of course you can. You could definitely hit 10K with fewer units. All you have to do is be patient. Don't rush it just to be in the game. And then the other thing is, people give up on real estate every single day. There's always someone that no longer wants to be a landlord. So there's always gonna be deals out there. All you have to do is find the right deals that make sense and not rush it. Because once you rush it, you turn these assets that are supposed to be assets into liabilities. And it's kind of what happened to me. And to the successful real estate investors that I know, I'm gonna have a lot of them watching this video, we're in a different time, and what worked then is not working right now. So here's my biggest takeaway. Stack your money, grow your income, build a safety net, buy smart. Rentals aren't a shortcut, they're a multiplier. And if you play the game right, you'll win. You just need to be patient. Thank you guys for watching.